Hello, kids and kidlets. It's me, James Lott Jr. This is daytime today. We're using my background from earlier for all our soap shows that we have on Sundays. We have them there. Beyond the Gates, Y&R Bold, and GH we do every Sunday, except for this Sunday won't be here. It's a holiday. I was asked to do another video and kind of continue my conversation about representation and Teriah on Y&R. And I'm going to talk about representation in general and bring up some Teriah points also that I didn't bring up in the last couple of videos. And I want to thank everybody who I guess liked what I had to say. Hey, and there's folks who didn't like what I had to say. Either way, it's fine. It's all about discussion. And I'm here solely to give you just some things to think about and kind of tell you where I sit in the aisle for this. And I took some notes. So I really want to, so you guys want me to address a few things. So I'm going to address them, of course. I'm here for the people, right? Number one, we should address fandoms. Fandoms are a tricky thing, right? It doesn't matter soaps or anything, wrestling, Star Wars, anything. I'm part of several fandoms, and I'll tell you something. I've said this before, so this is nothing new. I've said this before. If it's your first time hearing this, I get it, but I've said this before. There are several types of fandoms. There are the fanatical. There are the casual fans, and then there are the regular fans. And I'll explain. So when it comes to the casual fan, I don't mean like they don't care about the show or anything. Just that it's more like they're like, I watch the show. I have friends who are not online, who don't follow what's going on social media. They're not part of any of the online fandoms. There's some of them don't even know the stars' names. They're just into their show comes on at 1 o'clock. They watch the show and it makes them happy. They may not like certain things. They have opinions, but they really don't talk to anybody about it. In the old days, we talked to each other about it, but a lot of people are not watching soaps. So they keep it to themselves. But they're very much like they take what they get, what comes on screen. They follow along. They're not looking for any major representation or realism or whatever. They just watch the show. Now, you get the opposite of that. We have the fanatics, which I have dealt with the last 10 years as a soap podcaster and video person. I've had everything from death threats, yes, death threats, because I had like a couple, to everything in between, to smear campaigns, fuck James Lott Jr. and JLJ Media, or fuck AfterBuzz TV when I was there, to telling me me and my coach, we should stop doing the shows because of a certain storyline. They're fanatic. There's both. There's the wide spectrum. But the people that I want to talk to and what I try to talk to are just the regular fan. Where we like our shows. Some of us do care about representation. Some don't. I know some black folks who they don't care for black persons on a soap opera. Seriously, I've been told that. Or they don't look for colorism. I know some folks who are older who don't care about ageism, where people older on the show. They're fine with whoever's on the show. And same with gay and lesbian stuff. There's some folks I know who are gay who don't really care if a gay person's on or not. And I'm not there to vilify them at all. That's their prerogative to not care. I've had discussions with people like that actually on my shows in the past, where they give their point of view, and I was like, okay, so folks, maybe you believe this person, maybe you're with this person. For me, I care. I care about. I really do care about representation. I care about representation, and as a person who gives opinions, I will always talk about that. I always have. Some other podcasters don't. We're not all the same. I know maybe you guys listen to other people. Some don't care. They don't talk about, or they do care, but they don't talk about it. There's that too. But I talk about sexism, racism, misogyny, tired soap tropes. That's part of what I do. I've been very outspoken about that since the very beginning. And I'm not stopping anytime soon. So I just feel like that's something I feel that's important. Now, there are people out there, and I've seen it, and I've been told this, who cares? It's just a soap opera. Get over yourselves. All this kind of stuff. And I used to get offended by it. I used to get mad and lash back out. No, I don't anymore. I just get that for them, it's fine. I don't know who these people are personally. I don't know what's going on in their lives for them to feel that way. But they can feel that way. That's their choice. And if like folks who stop watching shows, I know some people call them fanatical. And I'm like, well, no, you have a right to stop watching a show if you don't like it. Walking Dead, I stopped watching after season 9. Didn't like the way it was going. It was unwatchable to me. I stopped watching it. I didn't go online and talk shit about Walking Dead for the next couple of seasons. I didn't do that, where other people do that. But I was just like, eh. I'm like, for me, I bowed out. A couple of shows too, I was like, yeah, I'm kind of tired of watching it. I moved on. Um, but I wouldn't tell somebody it's just a show. I just don't do that. I just don't do that. Because again, I did a show on this also, so I'm criticizing fans. All people who watch TV know it's a show. It's like one of those redundant kind of things to say to somebody. Like it's a demeaning thing to say to somebody, to say that they're dumb and their feelings are dumb. No matter how you slice it, even if you don't mean it that way, it doesn't matter. That's how it comes across. You're talking down to somebody, going, "Just get over it. It's just a show. Like, come on." That's still demeaning. They're saying that their feelings aren't valid, or they're looking too much into it. And to me, it's not the case. You have a right to watch a show and have a feeling. And actually, hopefully, good television and television that you're invested in does make you feel something that's strong outside of watching it. Now, I'm not a person who talks about soaps 24/7. I don't. I do my little talk, I go about my business. I give my opinion, I move on. But soaps over the years, and I told this to Christian Alfonso, I got to meet her on days, there were times when she got me through some tough times. She did. And I don't feel ashamed to say that. I don't feel sorry to say that. That the show brought me happiness. It brought me calm. It brought me all kinds of things when I was going through some tough moments in my life. Just like when you turn on comedies or whatever. And sometimes, when you go through tough times, you say, turn on a comedy to relax. And it helps you relax. Some shows, you guys know this at home, some shows just really make you feel good. So I always feel like there are certain shows, certain couplings, certain combos that are on TV that make you feel good. So you want to feel that still. So you're invested. So to me, I would never talk this out. Again, I'll never talk down to a fan. I would just encourage them to understand, for some people, this is more than just a show. And there's nothing wrong with that. There really isn't. Why are there so many people who are fans of, because you don't say to somebody, it's just a record. It's just a song. You never hear people say that. It's just Taylor Swift, or it's just Beyonce, or it's just Lady Gaga, or it's just Paul McCartney. There are people who love their stars. They do, and they're starstruck, and they're into them. And you may argue, well, those people are real, but the music they're making is still art. They're making art, and you're into the art because you don't really know the person. You can almost argue that at the same time, or any kind of figure you're into. So we all love our president, all that whole thing. Another thing I want to talk about briefly, bring up, is the shows themselves. So I'm sure if you don't know this already, I'm going to say it out loud. The shows want you to talk about them. The shows, whether it's dissension, division, good or bad, the shows want you talking about them. It's almost that old adage of any publicity is good publicity. It's very much, unless it's something really horrific, and they'll try to shut it down. Days of Our Lives had a few years ago some stuff, try to shut it down off camera. If it's on camera and it's all on storyline, Bold took some flack for a lot of stuff. They didn't care. They said we like the conversation. They want people kind of, fighting, I say in quotes, fighting online. For them, it feels like, you're watching the show. The show has some legs. You're watching the show. It's keeping the show in the conversation. So just know that. Just know that. So when they do stuff, a lot of times it is to get you talking. That's just how it is. Number 3, I just know for me, now I don't like seeing it myself. I don't like seeing it. For me, I don't hold actors accountable. I know that for some people, they want the actors to stand up to their bosses and take a stand for whatever storyline it is. Whatever it is. So we'll say Teriah. There are fans who want Cameron and Kate to stand up to their bosses, whoever that is, to change the storyline. And I've been saying, I got in trouble for this, but I stand by it. They're doing their job. They're not in charge. They don't have that much. They don't have that much power. And yes, I always think about Dynasty. So Al Corley said this recently in an interview. Who played the original Stephen Carrington? The first season of Dynasty was all about him being gay. I almost forgot about that, and how Blake, his father, killed his lover by accident, or was it by accident? Right. When he changed it later and added Sammy Joe and made him bi, Al Corley did go to the producers and say, "I don't like this," and they said bye. They had the whole oil explosion, and then Stephen Coleman comes on, and they got somebody else to play it. So I always say, you don't have. I mean, if it's soul sucking to you as an actor, I'm sure then you leave. I guess there are people who leave all the time for stuff. But if it's a storyline change, it's not saying that the actor doesn't believe in a story. It's not saying that Cameron and Kate don't like the Teriah fans. I'm seeing so much hate towards them that, to me, that bothers me. That they don't care about the fans. No, they're doing their jobs. They're getting hired. They're hired to do a job. And as actors, they want to play different things. Obviously, that's just kind of what they do. But like any company, it's like you saying, okay, I don't want to bust that table over there. I'm a waiter, but I don't want to wait in that section because it's too cold or whatever. I'm going to protest and not wait in that section. Then bye, to get another waitress. I mean, like, I personally myself just don't go after the actors. They are the puppets in the whole thing, right? It's like it's a whole machine that's going on. And we live in LA. I live in LA. It's expensive to live here. And there's a lot of actors who are not working. And if these actresses decide to stand up and they're gone, then we lose them. And they'll just get somebody else to come in to do the storyline. So it almost is like it won't help you anyway. Think of it that way. It won't even help you. Even if they stood up and they left, Teriah can still go on with 2 new actresses. And I know I don't want that. I like Cameron Grimes and Kay Fairbanks. I want them to stay on my screen. So it's a tough pill to swallow because you're thinking, okay, this is not good. I don't like it. I have anger about this erasure of storyline representation. So what do I do? Well, I've said it before, and I will say it again. There's a much bigger machine happening than just writers. So some ire to head writers. I understand that. Totally get that, of course. And some head writers do have power where they are writing the stories they want to write. But there's also network. And I've said it before. I'll say it again. We're in some interesting times right now. I'll just say it that way. Interesting times. And who knows? Because I don't work for CBS. I don't work for the Bell family. I don't know what's going on. The Bell Dramatic Serial Company. I could just speculate from things that I do know. I'm in the business that I do know that there could have been higher ups that said we need to break them up and make them more mainstream. Who knows, right? To me, that's totally possible. I don't know this for a fact. I'm just saying that's totally possible because I'm going by what I see on the screen. Just like you guys are seeing what I'm seeing on screen, right? And yes, I'm seeing that there are some Dessa fans out there, of course. I don't know if they're being contrarian but they're fans because they can be, or if they really are fans or not. I'm not sure about that. But to all the Teriah fans, it really hurts because you had this whole build-up, you had a payoff, then ever since they got married, it's been piecemealed. We talked about this a little bit on my show today, Y&R. It's just a lot of things happening off screen. So why didn't we see them really go through the adoption process? and talk about how hard it may be for a female couple to get a child. No, not getting that. Ian coming back. That was promising. Tessa kind of, talking. There was some promising stuff, but then that ended. And then we have Mariah kind of go a little cuckoo. And Tessa's now in the arms of Daniel. Now, I've already said this on other shows already. I mean, I'm not dumb. I understand you need conflict. A happy couple's a boring couple. I always say that on soaps. That's just how it is. It's a soap trope. They have to do. And I'm a writer, so I know there's 10 other ways they could have done this. But I think at least 5 of the ways Teriah fans would be halfway okay with. And I mentioned some on my Why Not show today. And they were like, and basically I said, yeah. Now we know there are different kinds of Teriah fans. So we have some fans who want they want all or nothing, or they want. I mean, I see different kinds. So I'm not speaking to the fractions of Teriah fans. I'm speaking just to Teriah in general. For me, as I'm watching, we have 2-time Emmy winner Cameron Grimes, who we know can act. I mean, like, we know she can. That's not even a secret. We have Emmy nominee Kate Fairbanks, who can turn it on when she needs to, right? I don't mind seeing them with other people in terms of storyline, saying, interacting with other people. Love that. Oh my God, like, finally. They should not be in a vacuum. They should be treated, like we keep saying, like, just normally, like anybody else. And soaps do this. And the same thing, so when it comes to Black folk, interracial, Asian, Latino, and queer, it's just a main fact. In America, other soaps, other places do better. In America, we're sorely lacking. And some of the largest audiences of soap operas are Black folks, queer folks. You know what I mean? Like, it's women, of course. It's, to me, just so interesting that they're not. There would be more on screen, just kind of match real life on some level. Soaps are entertainment, but also a slight reflection on times. And I know there are folks who believe it's just a soap opera. Who cares about lesbian couple? Aren't they bi? It's something about. Either way, they're a queer couple, and they're not discussing the queer part. It was like, I would love some conversations between Danny and Tessa about that. But we're not going to get, so far we haven't gotten it. It's a very different story. It's like I feel like there are storyline beats you could play that could possibly work in this. But whereas Mariah, she's just absent from the screen. So there's that also. So I just feel why folks are upset. We had Blaze for a minute on GH, and I saw some Teriah fans heading over there. They got rid of him quick, fast, and hurry. It was done. That's it. No more lesbians. We had Lucas and Brad. We had Felix. We always go on GH. Now we have Lucas and Marco. So they're gearing towards a storyline. So I'm going to watch to see what they're going to do. Van Hansis is an Emmy winner who's an amazing actor in the queer space. I really want to see what he can, if they give him some meaty material on that show. Bold now has a gay couple and 2 really good actors. But it took him how long to get one? That's a gay male couple. I should maybe say a gay male couple. The last gay couple were Caroline's parents, and that was 2 women. That was a long time ago. They've not been on in years. One's Bill's sister. She has not been on. It just, for some of us, it's egregious. For a while, I was getting mad at the Black actors. They were not showing them, not black at the actors, but they're not showing them that much. But I know they're starting to ramp that up on some of the shows. That is changing. I'll give General Hospital credit. They have done a lot. They have Portia and Curtis and them are a major story, but Trina's out there doing nothing. I just think representation. I know friends who are handicapped. They're like, well, we don't have a character in a wheelchair. I know for a lot of people, they'll be like, I don't care. I'm not in a wheelchair. I don't care if I see that or not. But there's somebody out there who would like to see that. I don't know. I just think it's nice to turn on TV. Maybe because I see TV through a different lens and always have. I just notice when there are no black people on TV on a show that I'm watching. I just notice, or one, or in a movie. I notice when I don't see any minorities on something, or I don't see any gay people on something. I just notice it. And then when someone shows up, I notice that also because it's so few and far between. And I'm watching how they're acting. What a representation are they showing? So I'm just telling you, some of us really do. It does matter. I watched a show called When Calls to Heart. Those Hardys have come together. I'm telling you, because of the show, we all support each other off camera. The Teriah fan base is very similar. They've been good to me. I've been good to them. We support. It's a great community that's translated off. We were brought together because of a couple that off camera there are benefits. People supporting other people, lifting each other up. When someone's in trouble, they come to the online meetings, in-person meetings. I've seen some of the wonderful things that fandoms can do and these communities that are created out of it's just a soap opera. I've seen it. And whether you're a part of that or not, that's fine. I mean, we get it. We get it. For some people, I was here to watch the show. Stop complaining, just watch the show, and that's it. I get that's how you feel, and that's good for you. I'm not speaking to you. That's for you. But I'm speaking to the folks who I'm in solidarity with you, because we're nervous that there's a whole erasure of queerness on network television. Yes, streaming and stuff, you'll find stuff all the time. But on network television, it's just getting less and less. And I thought we were getting forward. And we're moving forward. And Days of Our Lives is not on regular TV. So that's why they get away with it. They're on streaming. Beyond the Gates has a gay couple and a couple of queer characters. So that's good to start with. I love it. And again, not asking for preferential treatment or extra attention, just regular attention, regular treatment, just like everyone else. I watch other soaps. I watch EastEnders and soaps. They have representation. They just do. At any given time. I mean, there's shows with Indians on them, South Indians on them, shows with big people and small people. I mean, it's all regular looking folks. I mean, that's a tough thing to find on shows. And I love it. The storylines. I mean, they all get part of major storylines. They had a storyline on EastEnders where, a woman of a certain age was in a love triangle with someone who was Indian, East Indian, someone who was white, and she was black. And they had the country vote on it. Like, who should she go with? I loved it. I thought, you never see that in America. You never see that on a daytime show. Just don't. Now, some before you come at me, some may argue, well, EastEnders is nighttime. But it's on multiple times a week. So it's like a cross between nighttime and daytime. Neighbors is daytime, 4 times a week. It's about to go off the air, but they were on for like 40 years. They had diversity. Asian representation, or Aboriginal representation, black, white, everything on there. So I'm just saying again, it's just I see places where it happens and it's done very well, and it's just but again, just kind of wrapping this up and talking about Teriah. Many of us are just upset because we're seeing it just right before our eyes be dismantled, and in a way that just feels not good. That's all. It just feels There's probably other words I could say, but I'll say it just feels fucked up. That's all. And you're expressing that. But again, I'm not going after the actors. I tell people anything, write to the network, write to the head writers, talk to them. Because the rest of the writers are just breakdown writers and stuff. They're just writing what they're given. So again, don't go after them either. Go to the head writers. Go to the, I mean, if you can peacefully, go to the head writers. Go to the networks and just express. Again, they know how much Teriah is a huge hit. They know it. It's not a secret. They know all the numbers. But just express yourselves in heartfelt ways. It's like how much this couple means to you. If you feel so inclined to want to go at somebody. But I mean, the actors, I just think, but I know some folks are not. I know that this video for some folks is not going to change any of their minds. They either way, I'm a bunch of hogwash. They don't care, James, whatever. I get it, and that's fine. That's why I'm prepared for that. But I stand by everything I say, and like I said, I know I work in a business. I know certain things of how things run, and it's just not. But again, I won't talk down to fans of any side. I'm not going to talk down to any fan sets. Right, but I'm in solidarity with the folks who are feeling a little leery about and weary about where our queer representation will be on soap operas. This conversation is going to continue, and I do my roundtables, and that's going to come up again in my roundtables here. I'm putting together some groups. We're going to talk about queer representation on soaps, and you'll get some other opinions other than mine on how they feel about it. That's going to be coming soon. It might happen after the holidays, because the holidays, everybody's busy during the holidays. Or maybe I'll do that. Maybe somebody will come together during the holidays. So make sure you're following Daytime Today, because we'll probably do it live. You can join us live and add your 2 cents. But thanks for listening to me just ramble on for a little bit. Everybody have a great week and a great Thanksgiving, and I'll talk to you next time.